my question right now is I'm an operator 10 years and yeah, I've gone through all the mistakes and all the like all of that. Now like my challenge is to sell and I want to sell for a higher than market price. That's what I'm figuring out. But how would you do that? Like when you buy low and then you fix and you flip, how do you flip? How do you sell on the flip side?
For me, that's the easiest side because what I'm doing is I'm going to list it with a top producing agent in that market. I'm going to try to price it at the top of the market if I can, and I'm going to get what the market's willing to pay. I mean, that's the part where it's all over with. Now it doesn't matter because you're at the end and it's going to sell for what it's going to sell. You got to price it right and you got to sell it. Where you win is not then. Where you win is when you bought where you bought it. That's where you win.
That's the game you're playing.
Yeah, the market's going to pay what it's going to pay, and you don't have any control over that. Mm-hmm. So I would be looking at the market saying, okay, well, what is a house like this fixed up in this condition? What am I going to sell that for in the market? Do I have data to support that? Do I have comps? Do I have a good competent agent who's going to market this thing the right way? And then at that point, did I get it right on what I think it'll sell for, or am I off? But the numbers don't lie. You know, comps are comps. That's the market, is what it's going to pay for a house like that. And as long as you did, you know, as long as your condition matches that price point, it's going to sell, assuming you price it to where it'll move. But that's not really where you win in flipping. Where you win is, did I buy this thing deep enough to where after spending the money on the rehab and after selling it at market value, I have a big enough spread to make a profit.
Right. So you're only in like good markets. Like what kind of markets are you in? Because some markets are slow. Some markets are just slow. So it's not as hard unless you like really dip down below. Because some markets are just slow, you know?
Well, so for me anyway, I don't like to flip unless I'm in high price points.
Right.
Yeah, generally speaking, now it's not hard and fast, but because it's all a percentage of profit. So I shoot in the US on a flip, I want to make 15% of my sale price. So if that means, if you think about that, if I'm going to sell a 250 house, I'm going to buy it for 100, put 50 into it and sell it for 250, right? Or whatever. If I want to make 15%, then I'm making 37.5. Well, I'd rather sell a $600,000 house to make 15% and make 90. Yeah. So it's all, to me, it's the same time, energy, and effort. It's the same amount of work to do a little deal as a big deal. Why would I do a little deal? So I try to move into higher price points.
You can almost always sell a cash flowing asset above market as long as you're willing to be the bank. If you've got something worth 500 and you want to sell it for 650, but you're willing to take 100 down and then finance the rest, you can often find buyers for that. In fact, there's whole groups of people out there that look for no equity deals.